Last episode we left our boat in a marina, flew to Brisbane and then jumped on a 6-hour flight all the way across the country to Perth, Western Australia. We checked into our accommodation and we had a look around Fremantle, and we told you we were heading to a yacht club to look at a very special vessel. A purpose-built long-range expedition boat. And this is where we left you. Well, today is the day. Let's go inspect a Bering 55.
And then the car park for the people who aren't part of the yacht club.
We've just gone in to go to the yacht club, which is where the boat that we're seeing is, and it's like gated and it looks really nice. And if you're not a member, you come to this
gravelly, potholes, really crappy car park outside the gates.
The bright side is that it's not too far. It's only like 100 meters, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Let's call the broker and let him know we're here and check out the boat.
So we've got that yacht club entrance there with the gates. Oh, it's opening. We've got the car park here through the trees there. Did you say don't worry, I'm going to want to walk all these wharfs?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, the mono's there.
It's really peaceful.
The Riviera Basin over there.
It's very calm in here.
Yeah.
Alright, here she is. The boat we flew 4,000 kilometers across the country for, and she is sitting right in front of us. Meet little one, a Bering 55 Euro. And I want to say something before we even step on board, because the first thing that hits you when you walk up to this vessel in person is the presence of her, the scale, the solidarity. You can just feel the weight of the steel before you even put a hands on her. This is not a production boat. This is a ship. The Bering 55 Euro is a full displacement steel expedition motor cruiser, built to cross oceans, built to go remote, built to take the family somewhere that most boats simply cannot go, and get them home safely. And this particular vessel is genuinely one of a kind. We are looking at hull number 1, the very first Bering 55 ever built. She was launched in 2010 and she has been sailing the world ever since. She is the original, and she is what the Bering 65s are based off of. Now, Bering Yachts was founded in 2007 by a man who just wanted to build a steel boat for himself. He was in China, he built it, and people started asking to buy it, and then another, and then another. The inspiration? Norwegian North Sea fishing trawlers, hardworking vessels designed to handle the worst conditions on Earth. The DNA is right here in this hull, and the name Bering? These vessels are designed to handle conditions like those found in the Bering Sea. If it can handle that, it can handle anything. So let's talk numbers, because the numbers on this vessel are really impressive. She's 55 feet on deck, that's 16.7 meters, a beam of 5.7 meters, and a draft of 1.8 meters. Not a deep draft, which means that she can get into some anchorages that a lot of vessels this size simply cannot reach. At the heart of her is a single Cummins QSL9 diesel engine with 285 horsepower, paired with a ZF transmission. Now we will get to that further when we enter the engine room. She'll cruise at 7.5 knots, burning just 24 liters per hour. And because she's full displacement hull, when you slow her down to 6 knots, her range extends to approximately 4,000 nautical miles. 4,000 with reserve. You can cross an ocean on that without stopping. She carries 6,000 liters of fuel in her main tanks, another 1,400 in her day tanks, and a further 1,300 in a forward tank. And if that wasn't enough, she has a backup wing engine. If something goes wrong with your main engine in the middle of nowhere, you have a second engine to get you home. Her freshwater capacity sits at 2,000 liters, backed up by a sea recovery water maker producing 180 liters an hour. So you are never far from water, no matter where you are. 3 cabins, 6 berths, 2 bathrooms, 5 cruise air ducted reverse cycle air conditioning units throughout, bow and stern thrusters on both ends for easy maneuvering. And now let's hop on board. First things first, the swim platform. It's generous, it's practical, and that's exactly what you want when you're anchored out somewhere remote. You just want to get in and out of the water easily. There's a transom shower here too, to rinse off all the salt water, to hose down dive gear, and to clean up the kids after a long day on the beach. And stepping up onto the aft deck, this is a cracking space. You've got a sink, a barbecue area, and a proper seating area back here. You can tell that this area was not an afterthought. This is an entertainer's deck. I could picture ourselves anchored somewhere in a tropical bay, eating dinner as a family, or having sundowners with friends watching the sun go down. Yeah, I could do that. Charlie, do you know what this is for? This is for when you pull the anchor up and there's mud on it and you're washing it, all the mud will come into here and the water will run, but it doesn't get onto your deck, so you don't have to wash all the decks. So it would be encased in here and it drains out through there.
Oh.
Yeah.
But what does it do?
It keeps the rest of the decks clean, because right now on our boat, like on most boats, when you spray it, all the spray sort of goes everywhere. This encases everything. The mud will be encased. Keeps the boat clean. Up here on the bow, we've got a really well thought out anchoring system. Little One carries not one, but 2 plow anchors, a 50 kilogram stainless steel plow and a 50 kilogram galvanized plow as a backup, and 2 Muir windlasses to handle them. If you're taking a vessel like this into remote anchorages, and that is exactly what she's designed for, redundancy in your ground tackle is not optional, it's essential. And the anchor locker is really deep, and the chain can all just pile in there. There's no need to flank the chain. When that is huge for us because we are just a mom and pop operating team. The bow seating up here also gives you a great vantage point. You can imagine sitting up here on passage, coming into an anchorage, keeping lookout. There's plenty of room for the family. It's practical and it's comfortable. Making our way from bow to stern, we next have the bridge. The wheelhouse on the Bering 55 sits in an elevated position in a setup known as a Portuguese style bridge. The elevated position of the wheelhouse gives you something really important: visibility. You can see everything from up here. And she has reverse-facing windows. They're angled backwards, which cuts down glare and heat from the sun, but still gives the person at the helm a clear view in every direction of what's ahead. Inside the bridge, you've got 5 large screens across the dash giving you all your navigation information: where you are, what's around you, how deep the water is, your speed, your heading, everything you need right in front of you. There are 2 autopilot systems, so if one fails, you have a backup. A screen dedicated to monitoring your fuel and water levels, a VHF radio for communicating with other vessels, a long-range UHF radio for when you're really out there, and a second backup navigation screen from Furuno. There's also a thermal camera, so if you're going into an anchorage after dark, you can see what's around you. And that camera picks up heat signatures and shows you what's out there. There's also electric thrusters, essentially small propellers, one at the bow and one at the stern. This girl has bow thruster and stern thruster, controlled by a joystick right here at the helm. They push the boat sideways, which makes docking and maneuvering in tight spaces manageable for just 2 people, or even 1. There are some really cool toys on this dash.
It's nice and fancy. Mom, look.
This
I think
closes.
you're here. And we see what you're doing.
Yeah, you could help me cook through there, couldn't you?
Yeah.
And you can cook while on watch, because you can see everything, can't you?
Yeah.
And then you've got refrigerators,
What is these?
coffee machine, and then stairs to the Flybridge. Cool. And there's a fridge here too. Do you see that? There's a fridge, table, sitting area, the master's chair, the skipper's chair, helm. I see Sam.
And stay there, Mom. Okay? Mom, stay there. Did you see me, Mommy?
I did see you.
Mama, go down and I'll see you.
I saw you and I saw you wave at the camera. You looked directly at the camera and waved. That was cool. Now, stepping back from the wheelhouse, you enter the galley, and this is a cook's galley. It's solid surface bench tops, a ceramic cooktop, a full microwave, an oven, a trash compactor, a dishwasher, and a full-sized upright fridge and freezer units. You are not compromising on refrigeration here, and there's even an additional fridge space under the port saloon bench seat. What we really liked about the galley layout is how connected it feels. The cook isn't isolated. You're still part of the conversation in the saloon, and when you're on watch, you've got a direct connection into the wheelhouse, and you can easily cook or make coffee while on watch and keep an eye on things. There's even an elevated seating and dining table up by the helm, so you can eat while you're on watch or just taking in the view. There's plenty of storage in the cabinets and overhead cupboards, and there's extra cupboards on either side of the fridge, plus a wash machine that's nicely tucked away in an easy to get to spot. This is a really nice setup. Going down aft from the galley is the saloon and lounge area, and I think this is a really warm and comfortable living space. There is an L-shaped lounge, a dining table that lifts up and down, a television, and nice large windows all around that flood the room with natural light and give you an incredible view to what's going on all around you outside. I really like that this saloon feels bright and open. It feels generous, and it feels like somewhere you would genuinely like to spend your evenings. I can already picture the Christmas tinsel and garlands wrapped around the handrails, and there are some excellent spots for hanging holiday decorations. There's storage underneath the seating areas, and there's extra refrigeration under the portside bench under the window. There is ducted reverse cycle air conditioning that you can see in the ceilings, so this saloon would stay nice and cool in places like the tropics and nice and cozy in places like Alaska. From the saloon, stairs lead you down into the accommodation level, and this is where the Bering 55 starts to feel less like a boat and more like a floating home. There are 3 cabins in total, 6 berths, 2 bathrooms, and an overall really nice, cozy, homely feel. Up forward in the bow is the master stateroom, a full island queen bed, and one that you can walk around on both sides, which is a real genuine luxury on a boat. When we were down there below, we didn't hear any slaps on the hull. It was super quiet and stable below, no creaking, rolling, or slapping sounds. This master stateroom has really nice cross ventilation through the portholes on both sides. She's got really nice large cedar-lined wardrobes and plenty of storage. Plus, she has these really unique roller shades that roll in front of the portholes for a bit of privacy, and also behind them is some more storage for things like books. The master has its own private ensuite with a bidet, and the ensuite has a dedicated shower stall, an electric toilet, lots of counter space, and nice storage areas. While we are talking about the bathroom, this vessel carries a 900-liter Blackwater holding tank. I really like this master. It's a nice size walk-around bed, lots of storage, well finished, it's practical, and it gives the master cabin a really nice sense of privacy and self-containment. Going aft on the port side, we have the guest bathroom, shared between the 2 guest cabins, and this is really big. It has a separate shower stall, an electric toilet, great headroom, porthole for ventilation, dedicated towel hooks, and a good amount of storage. And remember, there's also that transom shower on the swim platform for after a day in the water, so this vessel isn't short on options. To starboard, there's a queen berth guest cabin.
It's not. Mom, look, it has a TV.
It does have a TV. This one would be your room.
And I can do anything. I can do anything I want on the TV.
Not anything you want, but it is pretty cool that you've got a TV in here.
Mom, I want to buy this robot.
There's storage here, Charlie girl.
Oh, God, that's
Storage here, and then there's storage below as well, Charlie. No, storage below.
I have this.
A window, yeah.
And when it's too bright, Mom, I can close the window with.
And to port, we have the 3rd cabin, which is 2 single berths. Again, it's really nice headroom, really nice ventilation, and it's a really useful space. Whether it becomes a kids cabin, a crew cabin, or just extra storage and bunk space for passages, it's really versatile. Also worth noting too is that the engine room access is through this cabin, which we'll show you in just a moment. It's a watertight door, which means your engine room is properly separated from your accommodation. Okay, right now we are in the engine room and it's fully stand up. Fully stand up in this engine room, and then the engine is a walk around, so you can work on this side, that side. Over here is the wing engine, and then I think this is really cool. Look behind me. There's a sink in here. So like you got the vise, you got the sink, you get dirty, you can wash yourself up before going back out of the engine room and everything. It's a super neat and tidy engine room, which is cool. Oh, and then also back here, through the engine room, past the engine, you've got the lazarette, and that's the Laz door back there. And here it is, the engine room. I know a lot of you like when we show the engine rooms, and we've toured a lot of boats during our search, and this engine room genuinely stands out. At the heart of Little One is a single 285 horsepower Cummins diesel engine paired with a ZF gearbox. If you cruise at 7.5 knots, she'll burn around 24 litres an hour, giving an impressive range of roughly 2,000 nautical miles with reserve. Slow it down to 6 knots and that range stretches to around 4,000 nautical miles. And she has redundancy. Alongside the main engine is a 65 horsepower Cummins wing engine with just 25 hours on it, giving a reliable backup for long-range offshore passages. Power comes from twin gensets, 3 Victron 5 kilowatt inverters, 800 watts of solar, and a massive battery bank, making her well equipped for extended cruising. But more than specs, it's the layout that is really impressive. There's a workbench, a sink, and excellent access to all the systems. Everything is clean, organized, easy to reach, and this is just a really cool engine room. We come out of the engine room and we come into the third bedroom, which is 2 beds. This would be the guest bedroom. And up to the Flybridge, and you can get here in 2 ways. There's an internal staircase from the Wheelhouse or an external staircase from the aft deck, which we are taking now. Once you're up here, it's a spectacular space. There's a helm station up here and a slightly raised section with basic navigation equipment, and then there's just space, generous entertainment space up here. And to the aft, there is the crane. The high ebb style tender davit on this vessel is a serious piece of kit. It allows you to launch and recover the tender without breaking a sweat, regardless of where you are. If you're anchored in a swell, if you're loading fuel jerry cans, if you're retrieving dive gear, a proper crane makes all of that so much more manageable. Alright, so a lot of you guys are probably thinking, what did they think about this vessel? So here's what we thought. We really liked this vessel. We genuinely did. She has a great feel to her. The bridge is incredible. The engine room is outstanding. The history of being hull number 1, that's pretty special. And as an expedition passage maker, she ticks a huge amount of boxes. But here's the thing though for us. If this were the Bering 65, I think there'd be very little doubt in our minds. We probably would have said yes right then and there. The 65 would give us just a bit more room, bit more deck space, bit more storage, more room to grow into. But for where we're headed next in our cruising life, we want water toys, and a lot of them. Kayaks, paddleboards, full dive gear, tanks, BCDs, regulators, the works, fins and masts and snorkels for the whole family. And now that our daughter is getting of an age where she can be towed behind the tender, some boards and tubes for that too. And the adventures ahead of us all involve all of that gear, all the time. And when we stood on the aft deck and looked into the lazarette, we just knew that we would fill it really, really fast. It's not that anything is wrong with this vessel, she is brilliant. She just ran a little small for the specific adventures we have ahead of us for us. And I mean only by the slightest margin. And I mean we really, really thought long and hard about this because she is brilliant. She's only just shy. And if a Bering 65 were for sale in Australia right now and in our budget, I think we would jump on it. This vessel is awesome. She truly is. If the right person or the right family is watching right now and you want a long-range expedition vessel with the incredible pedigree, 4,000 nautical mile range, world-class redundancy, and the story of being hull number 1, go call the team at Motor Yachts Unlimited in South Fremantle. We put the link to the listing in the description box below. For us, the search continues, and I have a feeling the right boat is just around the corner. As always, thank you so much for watching and coming along on this journey with us. The search for our next boat has been one of the most exciting things that we've done as a family, and sharing it with all of you makes it even better. If you haven't already, hit subscribe because the next chapter of this story is coming, probably sooner than you know, and you are not going to want to miss it. We'll see you guys all same time next week. Bye everyone.